Hello, welcome back to the James Ramblin' Reviews for yet another episode. And in today's episode, I'm actually going to be reviewing this movie called Ballerina. But before I get into that, right, I'll give you a bit of context and a bit of an understanding as to how this all goes down. So, this is based on this is a Korean movie, right? So, if you know about me, right, I have reviewed Korean stuff and I have gave my appreciation and kind of appreciated all this Korean drama stuff. So, Killbox Soon and Black Knight and Squid Game and all these kind of things, so that once you kind of understand that and you know that's happening. So what is this movie about? So Ballerina, right, in the name, the ballerina is actually based on this character in the movie that's this girl who's the friend of the actual main character because she has to get revenge on this guy that killed her. This guy is actually this guy who like has this sushi shop, and he's like this guy that records these videos and puts them online, and he kills all these girls. So that's kind of the plot. Also, this movie came out on Netflix about last week, and it's an hour and a half long. So that's kind of your understanding of what this movie's about, kind of like the running time when it came out and stuff like that. So how do I feel about the film? Well, when it comes to this movie, I'll be honest with you, right? I did enjoy the movie, but it's kind of another case where it's not the most perfect thing. So I will break down as to why it's not like the most perfect thing ever. So if you're aware of the K-drama sort of genre, sort of sphere, you know there's kind of a staple where there's a lot of revenge tales. So one of the most well-known kind of ones is Old Boy, which is like this revenge tale where this guy has to kill all these people. And so that kind of translates here. You've also got a bit of John Wick in here, so there's kind of elements kind of thrown in there where it feels a bit like John Wick stuff you've already seen before. And also the villains are quite kind of predictable, and they're not the most compelling or unique either. Like, they're just these bad guys that are rich and they have Lamborghinis and all of that. Like, especially the villain, the core villain has like this Lamborghini, so it's not like this most refreshing thing ever. So you kind of get that kind of stuff. So there's that. But the action scenes are actually quite decent as well. Like, I did actually like how they kind of did it. Like, for example, at the start of the movie, there was a point where they were fighting in a like a shop, right, and then the lady has a tin. She hits them with the tin, and then later in the movie, there's like gun battles, and then there's knives, and they're using all these kind of different ways to emphasize a certain fight scene. But then there's a lot of kind of the pacing is kind of all over the place because at one point there'll be tons and tons of action at this point, and they'll kind of slow down and have a bit more of a story going on. So that's kind of my thoughts on the film. Would I recommend it to anybody? So if you're somebody that really likes Korean content and wants more of that kind of stuff, then definitely I do like that. But if you're somebody that's not very into this kind of stuff, that's not really interested in Korean stuff, then I don't recommend it. But I would recommend it if you aren't somebody who's into Korean stuff but you want to get into it. It's kind of a good way to get into it. It's just like this simple kind of sort of standalone movie for you. So once you dive outside of that kind of stuff, right? So how would I rate the movie? I would give the movie like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It's not like a masterpiece, it's not the best thing ever, but it's enjoyable enough and I had a good time with it. And hopefully, maybe there'll be more kind of Korean content coming out. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the James Ramblin' Show, or James Ramblin' Reviews, right? Where we reviewed a Korean drama, which was kind of unexpected because we already had Ahsoka, we already had Equalizer 3 and Gran Turismo. All of these movies we've been reviewing as of late, they're kind of different, kind of sort of stuff. So once you get outside of that, right, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. And also the James Ramblin' Show episode should be coming out tomorrow, and I'm going to be recording it kind of after this review. So this might be a bit of a shorter review, and if it is, if it's under like 5 minutes, or it might be just even 4 minutes, then you know why, because it's not the most like, when it comes to this stuff, right, it's not like I'm explaining a very, very complex thing. It's just a simple movie. So yeah, bye. I'll see you for another review on the James Ramblin' Reviews whenever that will be, because it's so inconsistent. So yeah, bye.